Welcome to Truly Heal and treating infectious diseases with ozone at home. My name is Markus Freudenmann, and for the past 15 years we've been researching cancer treatments, alternative cancer treatments in the best clinics around the world. And one thing has become very apparent, that many cases of cancer also suffer from infectious diseases, Lyme's disease, Hepatitis C, co-infections, mold infections, which brought it really into the forefront of our treatment protocol. And I would like to share with you why this is so important. When you look at patients who have been bitten by a tick bite, there is only 1 in 30 that will develop stage 1 Lyme's disease or Hepatitis C. 1 in 50 will develop stage 2 and 3 and 4. So it's very few people that actually have the fertile ground that allows this disease to happen. And it's really like a fish tank. If you have a saltwater tank and you put a sweetwater fish in, it dies, right? But if you have a body that is mixed water, not really clear, then the fish may survive. And that's the same if you drop in Lyme bacteria into a healthy body, no problem. They will be killed, they will be eliminated, and that's it. But if the body isn't up to the task or is preoccupied, has too many other problems, then they will thrive. And that's what we need to treat in order to get rid of the problem completely. See, a lot of people would say, well, if we use enough ozone, we can kill them all. They will grow back overnight. They will come back all the time. It's like cancer cells. We can't kill them all. And those who stay, they will thrive in a toxic environment. So it's more healing that environment, repairing that environment to have long-term success than about killing the individual bacteria on their own. And that's what the principle of our whole protocol, our whole Truly Heal approach is. Now, when we look at infectious diseases, I've made a little bit of a mind map of all the things that are related that we need to address and need to check in order to get rid of the disease. And that is to do with your lifestyle, with your stress. We look at deficiencies. Certain deficiencies are really important to, replenish in order for your immune system to have the grunt to deal with the disease. We need to look at your gut health, because if that is a problem and you have leaky gut and there is everyday bacteria, everyday undigested proteins squeezing into your bloodstream, your immune system needs to deal with that first. And it can't address the underlying problem. In the same way, if we have mercury, for example, we know mercury increases toxicity of any other infection by factor 600. So if you have heavy metal mercury fillings in your mouth and they leach into the body and you have Lyme's disease, you already are prone to have a lot worse reaction than somebody who doesn't. So heavy metals, we need to look at co-infections. Many of you have mold and Lyme disease, or Hepatitis C and Epstein-Barr virus. So any kind of co-combination will expedite the process and will take you a step further. Instead of developing only stage 1 Lyme disease, you might then go to stage 2 and 3. And that's why all of those areas like detoxification pathways, how your body gets rid of toxins, how your organs work, organ wellness, and DNA impairments that might block that, are dealt with. And that's a holistic program. We call that functional medicine. You look at all the factors that support the disease. And once we clean them up, all of a sudden the bacteria or the virus doesn't replicate anymore. Now, one of the most beautiful concepts that ozone provides is that it actually helps us to build stronger immunity. Think of a highly oxygenated cell. When you have a round cell here, now virus comes along and wants to dog on to a healthy cell, it bounces off and dies. But if you have an unhealthy cell, then it can breed into that cell, use it as a host, and multiply. And this is what we see when we have poorly oxygenated cells become host for bacteria and virus, because they are unable to make their defense enzymes. Now, to make defense enzymes, SOD, reductase, glutathione peroxidase, and catalase, which are those protective enzymes that the cell needs, it needs oxygen. plenty of oxygen in the system, and that's what we provide with ozone. It's energized oxygen. So as soon as I release that into the body, that kick, that energy, that singlet oxygen mobilizes our immune system, activates it, and provides the oxygen for that cellular defense. And that is often used in prevention. You have a lot of sports people, before they go overseas into a third world country for competitive sports, they use ozone to prime their body so that they don't get any infection from the food they eat, from the water. They use that to build up their immunity. In the same way, for sick people, we use that in order to kill off pathogenic, already infected cells, and to allow the healthy cells to thrive and to protect themselves more. Another factor which is really powerful, and that's when your white blood cells chase bacteria, for example. If you just watch this movie here, where is it playing? If you see this white blood cell is chasing here bacteria, they need excess oxygen. I need to catch that invader, and they run behind it and need oxygen for the chase and for the killing to produce hydrogen peroxide. So we provide, again, with ozone, plenty of oxygen into the body, and we stimulate our white blood cells to work much better. And you can see that, you know, if you have poor soldiers like that, very little oxygen, they can't work. Whereas if you have fully energized blood and oxygen in the blood, then those white blood cells can work. The next factor is probably the most important of all, because you will have, when you have any kind of infection, your doctor prescribe you antibiotics. But we know they only work for bacteria, and they only work for a short term, and then the bacteria become resistant, right? Now, ozone doesn't cause that effect. If you start treating with ozone, you kill bacteria, germs, viruses, bacteria, even ozone-resistant bacteria are killed. They increase more white blood cells in your system. They are fungicidal, which means candida and all of that is eliminated as well. You have with one remedy, which is cheap as, a treatment that kills virus, bacteria, fungi, and mold, which is all what we want, right? Because we want to get rid of that. Now, you can't bathe the body completely in ozone because it's an oxidative treatment. So you don't overdo it. You do it in intervals, but over time it works. And it provides the healthy cells plenty of energy to thrive. Now, these are the main three advantages. There is a few more, and I'll cover them in our protocols. But once you understand these three factors, you know that this treatment is why this treatment is used in all European clinics. For Lyme's disease, and we know it's a big problem, for hepatitis C, for AIDS or HIV. And again, there are so many people infected with HIV and only very few develop AIDS. Why? Because their environment has still the capacity to deal with that infection. If the capacity is going down, too much stress, too much, not enough oxygen, you know, bad diet, all of that coming together, then the disease unfolds. So bringing all those surrounding factors into shape will help you expedite the healing process dramatically. And we know herpes, you know, 25, when I saw those figures, you know, 25% of women and men, that's 50 plus million in American who have herpes, and 85% don't know, which means it's sexually transmitted. There is through kissing, through touching door handles. We all have it. Now, not all of us express the problem, but it's latent in our system. So using it for prevention, using it to keep your immune system top notch is already a great value. Now, we've prepared a protocol for you which covers all of those factors in a lot more detail. And I would like to share that with you. When we go through, we'll teach you how to use ozone safely at home. There is a few things that you should know how to use it so that you don't cause any damage. You'll learn how to apply ozone to different body parts without any risk. Vaginal treatments, if you do genital treatment, if you do drink it, if you have rectal insufflation as a systemic. We cover all of that and I show you them. and then how to treat your infectious diseases with great accuracy, because all of them have certain attributes in regards to supplementation, in regards to treatment, which we need to cover. What else you can do to speed up the recovery, and that also covers all the combination treatments. What can you do to heal the gut? How is it done? What can you do to detoxify heavy metals? How can you deal with co-infections? What else needs to be done? Once you realize that, you can clean up that environment of the body in no time and then start the healing process. Those bacteria don't grow back. They stay at a low minimum maintenance level, as we call them, and then that's where you have no symptoms and no problems at all. Now, I told you I'll show you how to make ozone water, how to do ozone bagging, external bagging for infections, then how to do insufflations for rectal, vaginal and rectal insufflations, and we'll also cover all the side effects that you prevent anything from happening. See, there is not a lot. Ozone is one of the safest treatments in the world. There is nothing that can go wrong. But if your antioxidant levels, for example, are very, very low, you might get a rash. So how to prevent that, how to counter that is all covered. And then we combine some treatments, ozone and hypothermia, for example, which is a phenomenal immune booster where you produce massive white blood cells, and flag pathogens with T-cell proteins produce higher white blood cell count, detoxify the body from heavy metals. You know, combination where you have one treatment that does so much, and in combination with ozone, that this is actually replicating what they do in European clinics. And then we talk about ozone and PMF, how you use PMF to shake loose heavy metals, how you combine with binders and then detoxify that through your lymphatic system, through the bile into the colon, and through the kidneys into your urine, and get rid of it safely, without side effects, without reactions, all put together for you in our protocol page. So simply press the blue button underneath this video, sign up with your name and email, and we'll send you straight away to the protocol page, and then we'll keep educating you how to resolve all those different areas in your life to get rid of all your infectious diseases once and forever.